Hi there, welcome to Friday's market commentary. Chart of the S&P 500 up here was up about 20 points today, pretty decent upside run. Was really good news for investors, the fact that we ran up today. We opened a little bit higher here on Friday and ran up and closed at the high. So really positive news for investors. Had we not had that and had some more selling, would cause probably some panic selling early next week. But it gave the markets a little bit of a boost here. So as we've got ultimate long-term support down here at 1275. Resistance coming up here. I'm going to run resistance a couple areas here. First at 1400, it's a nice round whole number. Investors like nice round psychological numbers. But I'm going to call the current resistance right here at about 1375. The index needs to go above 1375 before investors will start feeling bullish again. Right now they're probably just a little bit more nervous because we've had a series of lower lows. We had a low back here mid-May, a little bit low back here end of May, and then the next lower low right down through here first part of June. So we've had 3 lower lows there. And so investors are a little bit nervous. The highs have been the same way, kind of declining. So if we can't come back up and bounce above this 1375 level, we're probably going to roll around and come right back down. So investors are just a little bit nervous. They're going to be looking at that 1375 for a pretty good area. I'm going to call our support level down here, the ones I'm going to use for my trading, at 1325 for support and resistance 1375. So I'll be trading outside those ranges if I'm selling calls or selling puts. Meantime, keep an eye on that 1375 level. If we can't break it, we'll probably hit that level and pull back a little bit. If we come crushing through it, investors will start feeling more bullish and start going back into the market. If we don't hit that one, then we're ultimately going to roll right back down to this 1325 level. Currently, MACD and stochastics both look like they're trying to give us a little push to give us a little upside bounce, but I'm not too positive yet that we're going to break 1375. All right, let's take a look at the NASDAQ and see what it looks like. And here's our NASDAQ. Had a pretty good movement today. Actually 50 points to the upside was a really good movement for the NASDAQ, pretty strong. We gapped open and then we closed at the high for the day, which means that investors only stopped buying because the bell rang. So we ran up into the close. Now normally when we run up into the close it's pretty strong, but if we do it on a Friday it's even better, which means that investors kept buying all the way up until the time the market closed on a Friday, when anything could happen over the weekend. That's usually not when investors like to own. So it's kind of a nice bullish movement here. Resistance up here at 2550 and our support levels down here. We got a couple different levels. Ultimately long-term support down here at 2200, and we've got some different levels coming right across in through here about this 2375 level or so, and the index bounced just a little above that going into it as the MACD and stochastics both started to move higher. So all of it looks just a little bit more bullish. Longer term, I'm just kind of neutral here on the NASDAQ, maybe a neutral to slightly bullish long term. Short term, I'm a little bit more neutral short term until I find out if we're really going to start to bounce back up or if this was just an oversold bounce because people started to panic and then we dropped so fast that they just bought in a little bit of buying. So early next week will tell us by Monday, Tuesday if the investors are going to keep on buying or not. All right, hope that helps. Keep an eye on news. Lots of news coming out next week. First part next week. News does have a tendency to change everything, and I wish you the best.